baby was weeping, and now she's sleeping. Flows like rivers, time passes by. Find out I'll hold it. Feel your emotions flow like rivers. Time passes by. Time passes by. Time passed by. Down the river flows deep inside my soul. Show me how to glow. A narrow path I go. Narrow path I go. Feed me so I grow. Walk me till I'm home.
Folks, welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show. Touched by the spirit the last couple of days, connecting with an amazing band. And I get a chance to speak today to a really spiritual cat. Mowgli, welcome to the Jake Feinberg Show, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mowgli, can you talk about when you realized that you were merely a conduit for the music coming through you? Because one thing I noticed about you or felt about you right away was you're sort of, I mean, everybody has an ego, but you know, you kind of got the memo that you were a conduit for information coming through you from the heavens, and I wanted to know an early memory of that in your music life.
Yeah, so so I'm adopted, and my adopted parents, my dad was a pastor of a Christian church up in the Seattle area, and I played in the church band. It was like this kind of hippie Christian folky church band.
I love it.
And
Cat smoking cigs and stuff, wearing shades.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did.
And I played drums, and I remember a lot. They would always tell me, they're like, you know, like, it's not about like how it ever looks, you know, it's just like about like what it is, you know.
That's right.
And like, I don't know, as I've like kind of like found my own spiritual grounding in like my own culture, like I don't know, I kind of realized like part of being a musician is definitely just like being a medium, and like there's a big role. And I think that like I first kind of discovered that when I was young, like just like trying to like teach my friends how to jam like in church, just being like, you know, like there's
Can
something
you go a little
else.
bit deeper, talk about
There's
how you
something
teach them
else.
to
Yeah,
push?
sometimes we'd light a fire.
Right, just get the vibe going.
Yeah, and then I'd just get everybody to play in the same key, and then
Dude, I need video of that.
I'd be like, okay guys, like everybody just start praying, and then we just kind of make up some shit and sing and
man,
pray.
that's sanctified,
Yeah,
man.
and it was really cool. Sometimes we bring it down, and then people would say some like scriptures and stuff, or just say what's on their mind, or something they're grateful for, and that's definitely turned into just like what I want to bring in every jam. You know, it's just like I just want to open up a space where everyone can just like express and like let it go out into the world. You know.
I want you to talk to just people out there in general, musicians, artists. I mean, you were clearly blessed in the sense that you were saved, adopted by a person of faith. I mean, you could have wound up never, you know, you were raised that way, but putting the dogma of religiosity aside, talk about the intangibles of your connection to Source.
I think for me, especially adoption aside, like I don't know, every time I close my eyes, you know, like I just feel like, you know, like everything is a part of everything, and my part in it is music, and I'm choosing that. And
Look in the camera. Yeah, I want to see your face. Yeah, go ahead, continue, please.
Yeah, and
so everything. Explain what that's about. That's being present in the moment.
Yeah.
Creating in the moment. Be here now.
Yeah. I find that like, for me, like when I take a moment and just like relax and just like let things be as they are, like, you know, I can just kind of like realize that, you know, like there's some amount of equality that is within everything, you know, like I feel like I'm no greater and no less than like the fish and the birds and everything around me. I'm exactly the same if there was worth, you know.
Level playing field for all species.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's gonna be like, I don't know, I think about like, to be human, you know, like we have such a small brain. Like there's been thousands and billions of species before us, and there will be thousands of billions of species after us. So
I would also say though that like, you know, like we are human animals.
Yes.
Okay. Like I'm not even saying that I'm not that evolved. I just have a lot of love. I just try to bring love to people. Like I just want to inspire people. But I'm still just a blind monk stumbling into grace. And yet the way we treat our fellow man. So we're not that evolved. So my question really becomes, like, how do you try to inspire change in your world? Because that's all we can do. And then let that vibration continue on.
For me, like,
you inspired my world last night.
Thank you. I think like, I always say to myself, like, the way that I want to live my life as an artist, as a musician, is I want to make everything that I do music. I think music is our way of decorating all time for us, you know, and for everyone else too. And like in that, like I want to bring music into the way that I live, the way that I experience things, the way that I cook food, the way that I love people, and like I want like everyone to feel the rhythm of like, yeah, this is a dance. This is the thing that we're putting together to make a beautiful memory for us to be able to like decorate all this that we're experiencing, you know, so we can look back on it and be like, wow, look at what we created, and like how special and sentimental is that to us, like just being here and experiencing all this together, you know.
Beautifully put. Guava Tree, can you talk about the concept behind, I mean, you consider yourself the leader of the band?
Yeah.
And so, rhythmically speaking, I mean, time is, you know, can be out to lunch like Eric Dolphy, you know, but what's the rhythmic concept of the band? Because the cat, forgive me, I forget his name, but he was playing like a modified, you know, like cymbals and things like that. Obviously, the bass player is very funky, and the drummer is a legend. And so it was like, so what was the rhythmic concept? Just what you felt in your pulse, or talk?
Yeah,
it's not every day you see that somebody would play that instrumentation, you know, percussion. It's being percussionist basically.
Yeah, I think the first musical instrument I ever learned how to play was the congas. That was the first.
Descarga,
the
baby.
First instrument I ever learned how to play was the congas. And so I've always brought like the hand drums and like that kind of instrumentation into the music I write, because I love the way it sounds. It grounds me. And so I think
that Afro-Cuban rhythm.
Yeah, I think too, like, I don't know, like as I, you know, I've been like creating the idea of Guava Tree, this like fusion psychedelic project, like, I don't know, definitely like my roots in drumming, I've just been like, okay, like I want there to be lots of drums. I want it to be very full. I want people to like really, really feel that through the balls of their feet, you know? And like, I don't know, it's really cool because over time, you know, there's been a lot of different drummers I've tried out, but right now I got like my favorite drummers just playing right behind me, and it's the coolest shit.
It's swinging hard, man, and it's bouncing around. It's not quantized at all. The rhythm is round, which is really, really important. I'm just gonna throw a couple names at you, free association. Gil Scott-Heron. Are you hip to him?
I'm not.
Okay, well then that's my responsibility. Okay, Bob Marley.
Yeah.
You know,
Bob.
I mean, can you just talk a little bit about, do you consider yourself, I mean, I hate labels in music, but some would say that you're a reggae band. And I just wonder, like, has always been ingrained in your playing, or that one drop sort of, is that a new thing with Guava Tree?
I think with Guava Tree, as I've just been like figuring out like songwriting, like what songwriting is to me, I've just tried to pull in like lots of different roots of things that make me feel good and things that I want to express like from different genres. And reggae is like a huge, just like grounding, celebratory like vibe of just kind of like, oh yeah, like we're feeling good, like we're chilling out, you know, we're feeling stoned, you know, like, and that's something that I've definitely always wanted to incorporate in Guava Tree, just because of like how, like, I don't know, engaging I want like our sets to be. And I feel like reggae has always been like a really cool like bridge between like grunge and then also like our hip hop kind of areas that, you know, reggae is kind of a perfect bridge in between it.
I mean, did you you were raging last night, like you were like, I mean, you reached a sort of a, I don't want to say screaming level, but that kind of music, whatever that is, I mean, was that something that you got off on early in your life?
Yeah, so I grew up around in the Seattle area.
Like
so
grunge,
like
heavy,
Nirvana, Foo Fighters,
right.
And like I was just constantly listening.
I love how you
to
mix it
Stone Temple
into the
Pilots,
other
like,
things, though. I mean, it's a very it's pretty stealth, like, and you know, but you can feel it. I mean, I caught it on video. Do you believe that music has saved your life?
100%. I don't know who I'd be or what I'd be doing at all without music in my life. And I think there's been so many times in my life where I don't feel like, you know, just everything is just completely changing all the time. There's just so much instability going on with this and that, and just crazy life shit happening always, you know, and music is just steady like a river,
right.
You know, it's just kind of like
flowing.
Yep, and I can just sit and play, and like 100% that has saved my life like so many times.
You know, just can you talk about where cats can find the, you know, your music and kind of like where you're at? And I guess ultimately the final part to that question is, where do you need to grow the most on the bandstand? Name, ID, Social Security. No, yeah. But you know, like where do you know that you're in your comfort zone? Even, it doesn't even have to be musically. Maybe it's in the music racket. But
right.
Like, where do you need to grow the most?
I think I need to grow the most in just like the organizational like part of like managing a band. We're an independent band. Like I've kind of like, you know, done most of everything that we've done. Just kind of
you
like
do all the booking, like, and all
booking
the
everything and trying to get everything figured out. And I think that like doing that and being in a band and writing all the music and arranging everything has been a challenge. It's been something that I've loved to like learn about and put on, and I have like, you know, I've helped out a bunch of bands in my town that I live in too, with like organizing and then finding shows in other states and getting into like the DIY scene in different places, and that's been like such a good thing for me. But I definitely feel like I have some growing to do in just like the organizational part.
Yeah, and in theory, like, you know, Road Dogs, I mean, the cats that are like family to me, you know, there's no roadies, so they're slinging their own gear, and then the artists shouldn't be the ones advocating for money and shit. I mean, you know, you need to have an apparatus. So in theory, you just need more support also, and really be able to focus on the art itself, because some things were just generally not that. But you think music is like discernibly? Do you feel? Can you cite an example of it sort of pulling you away from darkness and into light?
Yeah, I've gone in and out of homelessness many months in my life, and there's been a lot of times where it's like, all right, if you want to eat, like, let's go set up on the street corner, you know, and I just hate everything about life, and all of a sudden, a couple songs in, I'm like, dude, I don't even give a shit if people tip me right now. Like, I'm
having a
happy,
ball.
you
I'm
know?
having a ball.
Like,
yeah.
I'm literally like, I am who I am right now in this moment, just playing music because this is who I am, and like, this is what I want to give to the world, and then somebody comes by and get a sandwich, and it's like, yo.
Right. Someone brings, like, lowers down a beer on a string or something. Yeah. People, you know, I mean, I just, you know, hope you guys can get to Arizona, specifically Tucson, as soon as possible.
Yeah,
that's where I'm camped out, and you know, you healed me the other night, and you know, I just feel like, you know, the best place to be in some cases is always at the bottom of the pit, because there's nowhere to go but up. And I've been going up for a long time, but it's still a very exhausting journey. So to meet spirits along the way is incredibly cathartic for me. So much love to you, brother, and
Thank you.
we'll be hanging soon.
Thank you so much.
It's the Jake Feinberg Show. See you later.